Welcome to Poker Market, making poker more efficient.
Hey everyone, this is going to be a mini poker course and it's entitled How to Analyze Your Own Game. So I'm going to be offering you some suggestions on what you can possibly work on to increase your win rate and move up the limits. So here are some of the topics which we are going to be covering in this video series. So the first is working on our Preflop game plan. I think one of the most important things in poker is to come up with a solid game plan, both for our Preflop play as well as our Postflop play. So what you find is that many amateur players tend to do things randomly, based on their mood and not actually just based on their cards. We will also be discussing post-session analysis, how to make good use of strategy forums, and how to use your poker tracking software to perform database analysis. So in this first video, we will just be concentrating on coming up with a robust preflop game plan. So this is going to be a very condensed version of how to come up with a good preflop game plan. I've actually covered this very extensively with almost 10 hours of footage in my higher level course, Preflop Perfection. So I highly recommend you check that out if you are playing at NL50 or higher and you have a larger bankroll to afford it, because it's pricier. So here, I'll give you some brief guidelines for range construction. And a well-developed preflop game plan could take more than 10 hours to create. Personally, when I was working on Preflop Perfection last year in 2014, I took about 15 hours just to perfect everything. So I was working on all sorts of stuff like under the gun versus each position, MP versus each position. I was working on open raising ranges, limping ranges in a small blind, 4 betting ranges, 3 betting ranges, 5 betting ranges. So it was really complicated. But what you'll find is that it's going to be worth it if you actually put in the time and effort to do so. So what should we look at when we are designing our preflop game plan? So I did mention those already. So first is your opening ranges. Second is how you would react against someone who limps in front of you. So what hands do we raise with behind him, and what hands do we limp behind? We also want to be thinking about what hands we should be calling against a raise in front of us. We want to think about what hands we are 3-betting, both for value and with bluffs as well. And we also want to think about how we would react versus a 3-bet. So what hands would we possibly cold call against a 3-bet? What hands would we 4-bet? And what hands would we call a 3-bet after raising?